Creator burnout is not a new concept, and it's something that's been talked about for years, ever since online content creation really started taking off. And people who are experiencing burnout don't often feel comfortable admitting it because they have a list of viewers who have grown to expect them to be pushing out videos and pushing out live streams consistently. And if you're here watching this video, you've probably felt burned out at one point or another, or you feel like you might be going through it right now. And now, I don't want to say I'm a professional on the matter by any means, and everyone's experience is different, but I do want to share with you my experience on how I dealt with creator burnout, and how I went from averaging 40 viewers on Twitch to almost calling it quits. Hey guys, my name is Steven, and I understand as a creator how it feels to go from loving what you do, to feeling overwhelmed, to feeling defeated, and to feel unmotivated all the time. So today I want to talk about one of the worst feelings in creator culture, and that is the feeling of burning out. So let me start off this video by telling you how I first got into content creation. So I started streaming on Twitch on August of 2018 under the username SilverthornSSB. And do you guys remember when you first started streaming? That whirlwind of emotions of fear and excitement, and it was literally all you could think about at one point. That was me back then. I started off by playing games like Warframe and Quake just to kind of test the waters, but when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, that's when I really doubled down on streaming because Smash was something I was good at. I had been playing Smash competitively for a few years before, so I was having a good time. I was hosting games and tournaments, I was running a Discord server, I was posting clips on Twitter, and I felt like I was doing everything right and everything was going perfect, but there was one major factor that was missing, and the truth is, I wasn't really taking care of myself. My life back then basically just revolved around content creation, and when I wasn't at my full-time job as a microbiologist back in New York, I was using up most of my free time to just work on streaming or editing or just overlays or networking. I was doing all of that while still trying to find time for my relationship. I was still trying to find time to go to the gym and to keep up with my family members too. And when I felt like there wasn't enough time in the day, that's when I started sacrificing sleep just to make sure I got everything done. And I even started drinking coffee, which is something I had never done before. I was never a coffee drinker until then. And by the way, I still hate drinking coffee. It's just something that I'm used to now. And eventually it got to the point where I was just feeling constantly fatigued and tired. I felt unmotivated to do anything. I stopped putting effort on my live streams. I stopped posting clips on Twitter. I just started ignoring my Discord server. And what I feel is the worst part of it all is I started to feel resentment towards my viewers who just stopped showing up if I streamed anything that wasn't Super Smash Bros. I felt like I was locked inside that game category, and whenever I tried to stream anything else, I would just get constantly bombarded with messages like, when are we playing Smash? I'm not watching this. Anything that I could think of that was just negative. That's how I felt at most times. And of course, there was a lot of people who would show up and hang out with me no matter what game I was playing, but at the time I cared way too much about the numbers and the metrics, and I let the opinion of a few rotten apples basically run the show and decide what happens in the stream for me. And I felt like I wasn't in control of the situation anymore. It was just too much for me to handle, and I just stopped caring. I just stopped caring, and my channel went on a nosedive from streaming over 90 hours a month and averaging 40 viewers to just not streaming at all. And the important thing is that had I known how to identify burnout and how to handle it better back then, I could have handled the situation a lot better, and I wouldn't have felt so apathetic about something that I started off so passionate and so dedicated towards. So let me share with you how I personally dealt with creator burnout, and while I understand that it probably doesn't apply to everybody, I hope it can apply to you, and I hope it can help you in some way. Well, for starters, I began to recognize my limits and kind of get an understanding of when the workload was too much for me to handle. So what I used to do is I would look at my fellow streamers and kind of get an idea of how much effort they'd be putting in on a weekly basis, and I would try to match my energy to their energy. But looking back on it and really thinking about it, I can see that everyone has a different circumstance in their life. Everyone has different terms of responsibilities, free time, and even energy to get things done. So what really helped me deal with burnout in this aspect is that I started off with a very low gear stream schedule, and I went from streaming 4 to 3 times a week to just streaming 2 times a week. And after I felt like I was comfortable with that schedule, I started pushing a little harder every single time to kind of keep testing myself to find the perfect work-life balance that didn't work for anyone else, but a work-life balance that worked specifically for me. The next thing I did to help me manage my burnout, and I have to admit this is still something I struggle with even today, is making a schedule and sticking to it, but not in a way to make sure I get everything done, but to make sure I'm getting enough rest in between. And by having my hours of creating content clearly defined, I can identify when it's time to work, and I can identify when it's time to disconnect from social media, disconnect from anything, and just forget about it. See, the main problem with social media is that it's ever present. You could be at the mall, you could be at the gym, and you could just take a moment to look at your Twitter feed or your Twitch channel, or take a quick glance on how your recent YouTube video is performing. And what I'm doing there is that I'm not allowing my brain to fully disconnect from work. Even if it's just a quick tweet or just a quick glance at your numbers, it triggers my brain to stay in work mode, and I don't have the chance to fully recharge and come back next time, with a fresh pair of batteries. So what I'm doing to combat this is that during my free time, I'm not checking my phone, I'm enjoying my surroundings and really trying to live the moment. Because a lot of people don't really realize how many hours they spend on social media and how quickly it makes time pass while feeling you just wasted your day. When you spent the entire day on Facebook or Twitter, and then before you know it, the day's over, you didn't really enjoy it. Another thing I did to manage my burnout was to set clear and concise goals for me that were not bound by follower numbers or subscriber numbers or any other vanity metric like that. Because the thing is that when you focus on the numbers and not the type of content that you're creating, you're putting your definition of success at the hands of a very superficial metric that you have no control over. And it can lead to a lot of self-doubt and anxiety and have you question the reason why you're doing things. Because maybe you're not growing as fast as you hoped, or maybe you feel like you should have accomplished more by now. So it's really important that you set your goals that tie into the message that you're trying to send into the world, and let the numbers be the result of you reaching your goals, not let the numbers be the goal itself. See, in my case, I'm trying to help creators be the best version of themselves, and I find fulfillment in doing that. And if you just happen to follow me as a result of me chasing my goals, then that's just an added plus. But heck, if you feel like you want to talk more about this topic in depth, then just know that I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and you can join our Discord server where either I or any of our members and creators can talk about this topic. Alright, and that's the video. Be sure to check out my channel for other videos relating to gaming, streaming, and content creation. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys live.